The biological hardware inside your cells right now is virtually identical to the hardware you had when you were a teenager. That hardware is DNA, the chemical blueprint carrying your genetic information. If the physical architecture of our genes remains completely intact, why do our bodies break down, simply turn gray and ache as the decades pass? The answer lies in your body's operating system, known as the epigenome. Think of the epigenome as sheet music. It reads the identical DNA code and tells each specific cell whether to behave like a patch of skin, a sliver of liver tissue, or an optic nerve. Every single day, modern life inflicts microscopic damage on that pristine DNA hardware. Routine activities like flying in an airplane, exposing yourself to cosmic rays, or getting basic medical scans create tiny breaks in your chromosomes through invisible, everyday radiation. Your cells rush to fuse those breaks back together and keep you alive. But in that absolute biological panic, the epigenetic software telling that cell what to do becomes scrambled. The cells simply forget their specific jobs. A skin cell starts acting like a nerve cell, and a nerve cell begins to resemble a skin cell. This cellular identity crisis is the root cause of everything from wrinkled skin to Alzheimer's disease. Cells employ specialized proteins called sirtuins, microscopic bodyguards on the DNA, maintaining cellular identity. But when a chromosome snaps, they abandon their posts to repair the damage. Afterward, many fail to return, leaving the epigenome permanently disorganized. Over decades of a human lifespan, the cellular software becomes entirely unreadable, much like a deeply scratched vinyl record, where the physical music is still present, but the needle can no longer play the song. Aging is the cumulative effect of our biological repair mechanisms failing to perfectly reset themselves after a crisis. We currently live in an era of intense physical comfort. Constant meals, climate-controlled rooms, and sedentary lifestyles put our survival circuits to sleep, accelerating our biological decay. Biologists call this phenomenon hormesis, the principle that exposing your body to short, intense bursts of non-lethal stress forces it to build stronger, younger tissue. When you skip breakfast for 16 hours, plunge into an ice bath, or pant through an exhausting workout, you create artificial adversity. You're tricking your cells into believing they are in immediate danger. That perceived threat forces the body to flood the system with NAD+, the essential cellular fuel. This surge hyperactivates your sirtuin bodyguards, triggering an aggressive deep clean of corrupted software and recycled proteins. These lifestyle hacks act as a biological disk defragmentation, forcing the body to move past burning calories and actually repair its own code. You don't always have to exhaust your own body to trigger these survival circuits. You can actually ingest the biological stress of other living organisms. When plants are deprived of water, exposed to harsh sunlight, or deliberately shaded by farmers, they defend themselves by producing chemical compounds called polyphenols. Consuming these plant stress molecules provides a direct boost to our biological hardware. While NAD+ fuels our cellular bodyguards, these polyphenols act as the accelerator pedal, sending the sirtuins into overdrive. This explains the focus on vibrantly colored foods like dark purple blueberries or the intensely shaded leaves of Japanese matcha tea. These crops are specifically cultivated under mild stress to maximize their protective molecules. Eating a diverse, plant-rich diet means consuming the survival data of another species to upgrade your own cellular software. Fasting and nutrition only slow the rate of cellular decay. But clinical researchers have recently figured out how to run the clock backward. In laboratory breakthroughs, geneticists discovered that a pristine, untouched backup copy of your youthful epigenetic software is still hidden deep within every single cell in your body. To access that backup copy, scientists engineered a delivery mechanism. They loaded 3 specific rejuvenating genes into a microscopic, harmless viral sphere capable of docking with a human cell and injecting this new code inside. This is moving into human trials. Surgeons are preparing to inject these exact viral packages directly into the optic nerves of completely blind patients, using a simple antibiotic to flip the genes on. This approach moves past the surface-level symptoms of blindness to reboot the biological age of the optic nerve cells by 75%, allowing the eye to cure itself. The exact same genetic reprogramming process that fixes a damaged optic nerve can theoretically be applied to any tissue. These viral packages could be coded to rejuvenate a failing liver, regenerate a deteriorating brain, or restore elasticity to human skin. The current medical model is reaching a breaking point. We currently treat Alzheimer's, cancer, and heart disease as separate problems, when they are all downstream symptoms of the exact same software glitch. This is no longer distant science fiction. Under the direction of Dr. David Sinclair and his teams at Harvard, the technologies required to physically reset the human biological clock are actively undergoing clinical trials right now. It is time to reject the idea that deteriorating and dying at 80 years old is an inescapable fact of life. Aging is a curable disease, and the software update is already downloading.